I want to show you something. This is how much I made last year with my business, 800K in revenue, so close to $1 million at roughly 75% profit margins. But this was me, on the other hand, starting a dropshipping business. And this was also me starting a marketing agency. And in both of these businesses, I failed and I didn't make a single dollar after just trying them for months. So when it comes to business and when it comes to entrepreneurship, what is the biggest thing I did differently that led to these two completely different results? And why should you listen to me? Because it's true, I'm not the most successful entrepreneur. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not Jeff Bezos. But over the last 3 years of my entrepreneurship journey, I learned a lot after starting 3 different businesses and failing 2 of them. Because there are thousands of entrepreneurship videos out there, and they all kind of say the exact same thing, telling you that you need to lock in, wake up at 5 a.m., or just take cold showers in order to somehow succeed. But what I want to talk about, though, is something that those videos don't. And something that I think will help you a lot more in terms of not only doing well financially with the business, but also not burning yourself out and feeling completely miserable during the process of starting a business. And that first idea is something that sounds super obvious, but most people kind of just overlook. And it's the idea of not expecting to be exceptional just right off the bat. Because the reality is that these lives that these super successful people are living, they're exceptional. And most of us, we're just normal, and that's fine. Because if everyone was exceptional, then exceptional would be normal, meaning not very exceptional. And there's plenty of room in entrepreneurship for normal and having normal expectations in terms of how a business is supposed to progress and the income goals that come from it. Because not every business is meant to make millions of dollars. Not every business is meant to make you a millionaire. And just understanding that starting a business with the goal of making a few grand first is normal. You need to get crystal clear on your vision. So what are you looking to get out of the business? Is this a side hustle? Is this a full-time thing? You need to fully understand what you want from the business, because that will ultimately dictate the actions that you take, which leads me to the next point, and I call it the information trap. And it basically describes the usual cycle events when someone wants to start a business. They usually start off just hearing about or just being introduced to a specific business model. For me, it was dropshipping, marketing agencies, and then now the business I have, which is a lead generation agency. They just go down this rabbit hole of just learning how everything works. They watch YouTube tutorial videos, YouTube education videos on how to actually do the business, how it all works, and then they just end up going on and on and on inside that cycle where they feel like because they're watching these YouTube videos that they're just going to be making progress because they're learning and the money's just going to randomly come. But the more they go through this cycle of just watching endless YouTube education to just continue learning because they feel like they don't have enough info, it's just super destructive. And I know I was stuck in this cycle in that way of thinking because the biggest thing that held me back was honestly myself. And after a while, I had all the information I needed, even if it didn't feel that way. And the biggest thing that held me back was just not taking action and not committing to the business. And I struggled with committing to it because it was uncomfortable, right? Watching YouTube videos was comfortable. Doing the actual work wasn't. But this is supposed to be uncomfortable. There's nothing comfortable about starting a business that could just completely change your life financially or just change your entire situation. And understanding that the entire idea of getting uncomfortable was just the biggest thing that just held me back for years. I needed to make uncomfortable decisions and do uncomfortable things, and it all started with a decision. Today's the day that I'm gonna commit to building this business and making it work. Now, this next point honestly just helped me the most, and once I fully understood it, I'm not exaggerating when I say that was probably the biggest perspective shift that led to success. And it's this idea about skill development. And for some reason, it's one of the most forgotten about things in just making money in general. Because the more skilled someone is, the more money they're gonna make. So it becomes super weird because a lot of people have this misconception that success in business is just copying a cold email template or copying someone's sales script or copying someone's strategy, because it's really not about any of those things. It's about developing the skills and becoming the type of person who is making money in business. So focusing on learning and becoming a better at a valuable skill, and like anything else worth doing, it's supposed to be hard, because if it were easy, then everyone would be doing it. Because the first time you start a business is supposed to be hard. The first time that you try sending a cold email to get a customer is supposed to be hard. The first time that you take a sales call, it's supposed to be hard. And all of these things are supposed to be hard because it's the process of becoming skilled at a very specific thing. And looking at business through the lens of developing your skill set to the point where you are someone worth paying 5 grand to, 10K. And at that point, your income will just honestly reflect the value of your skill set. So, in review, the idea of just not expecting to be exceptional just right off the bat, not falling for the cycle of YouTube information trap, and the idea of skill development. And when you can really understand these three key perspectives, not only will you be making more money inside of your business, but you will also be way happier in the long run. Now, if you're at this point in the video and you just want to learn more about the specific business that I started that led to my current success, click the first link in the description below and it'll take you to a step-by-step video running over how I went from zero to $10,000 per month in my first 90 days of starting a lead generation agency.